Listen carefully, because most people will never hear this the right way. If you want to get whatever you want in life, you must first understand this uncomfortable truth. Life doesn't respond to what you wish for, it responds to who you become. Most people spend their entire lives asking, hoping, praying, and waiting, while refusing to change the version of themselves that keeps producing the same results. And then they wonder why nothing changes. Here's the reality nobody tells you. You don't get what you want because you deserve it. You get what you want because you are prepared for it. Every result in your life right now is proof of what you've been tolerating, what you've been prioritizing, and what you've been repeating. If you don't like where you are, it's not because life is unfair. It's because your habits, standards, and decisions are perfectly aligned with the life you're living. People think wanting something badly is enough. It's not. Desire without discipline is just fantasy. The world is full of people who want more money, better health, freedom, confidence, respect, and peace, but very few are willing to do what those things demand. Wanting is easy. Becoming is hard. If you want whatever you want, the first thing you must master is clarity. Not motivation. Not inspiration. Clarity. You must know exactly what you want and, more importantly, what it will cost you. Because everything has a price. Success has a price. Freedom has a price. Confidence has a price. And most people quit when they see the receipt. Clarity forces honesty. It forces you to admit that you can't keep living the same way and expect a different outcome. You can't keep surrounding yourself with distractions and expect focus. You can't keep choosing comfort and expect growth. Life doesn't negotiate with excuses. The second thing you must understand is this: the world doesn't reward potential. It rewards execution. You could be smart, talented, gifted, and full of ideas. None of that matters if you don't act. Action is the language of results. Every time you delay, you're not being patient, you're training yourself to stay stuck. Most people sabotage their own future because they wait to feel ready. They wait for confidence. They wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect moment. But confidence comes after action, not before. Motivation comes from progress, not thinking. And the perfect moment doesn't exist. If you want whatever you want, you must learn how to move even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect. It's saying, my future matters more than my comfort right now. Here's something powerful: your standards determine your destiny. What you tolerate becomes your normal. If you tolerate disrespect, you'll live a life of being disrespected. If you tolerate mediocrity, you'll never touch excellence. Raise your standards, and life is forced to respond. But raising your standards means you'll feel lonely at first. It means you'll outgrow people, habits, and environments that once felt familiar. Growth always feels like loss before it feels like freedom. That's why most people turn back. Not because they can't do it, but because they can't stand the discomfort of becoming someone new. If you want whatever you want, you must understand that consistency is more powerful than intensity. Doing the right thing once won't change your life. Doing it every day will. Small actions repeated daily shape your identity. And your identity determines your future. Your mind will try to stop you. It will remind you of your past failures. It will whisper doubts. It will tell you to slow down, to quit, to wait. That voice is not intuition. It's resistance. And resistance always shows up when you're about to grow. You don't silence resistance by arguing with it. You silence it by acting anyway. And this is where most people fail. They want external results without internal control. They want success without structure. Freedom without discipline. Happiness without responsibility. But the truth is, the more control you have over yourself, the more control you gain over your life. Everything you want is on the other side of discomfort, repetition, and patience. Not overnight miracles. Not shortcuts. Not luck. Just alignment between who you are and what you want. You must become the type of person who finishes what they start. The type of person who keeps promises to themselves. The type of person who does the work quietly, without applause. Because life always rewards the person who can delay gratification. And here's the final truth of this part: you don't chase what you want. You attract it by becoming better than you were yesterday. When your skills improve, opportunities appear. When your mindset sharpens, doors open. When your discipline grows, results follow. What you want is not far away. It's waiting for you to grow into it. And that's where the real work begins. Because once you understand that becoming is more important than wanting, everything shifts. You stop begging life for outcomes and start building yourself into someone life can't ignore. This is where power is developed, not in loud moments, but in quiet decisions no one sees. If you want whatever you want, you must learn to control your focus. Your focus is your most valuable currency. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. And most people are exhausted not because they do too much, but because they give their focus to things that don't matter. Distractions are designed to keep you average. Comfort is designed to keep you small. And noise is designed to keep you confused. You cannot build a powerful life with a distracted mind. Clarity and focus are non-negotiable. This means you must learn to say no, not just to people, but to impulses. To scrolling. To procrastination. To excuses that sound reasonable but lead nowhere. Every time you say no to what weakens you, you say yes to what strengthens you. Another truth most people avoid: nobody is coming to save you. Not motivation. Not opportunities. Not the perfect mentor. Everything changes when you accept full responsibility for your life. Responsibility is not blame. Responsibility is power. The moment you take ownership, you gain control. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And you start asking, "What can I do about it?" That question alone separates winners from victims. If you want whatever you want, you must learn patience. Not passive waiting, active patience. The patience to show up every day even when results are invisible. The patience to trust the process when nothing seems to be moving. Because progress is often silent before it's obvious. Most people quit right before the breakthrough. They quit because they mistake lack of immediate results for failure. But growth is happening beneath the surface long before it shows on the outside. Just like a seed doesn't break the soil the day it's planted. You don't need to be special. You don't need to be lucky. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent, disciplined, and honest with yourself. And here's something few people realize. Happiness is not the reward at the end. Happiness is built along the way when you know you're living in alignment with your values. When you know you're doing the work. When you know you're not wasting your potential. The greatest confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. From knowing that when things get hard, you don't run. You adapt. You adjust. You continue. If you want whatever you want, stop asking how fast it will happen. Start asking how strong you're willing to become. Because life always gives more responsibility, more opportunity, and more reward to those who can handle it. And one day, without warning, things will start to change. People will call it luck. Overnight success. A miracle. But you'll know the truth. You'll know it was built in silence. In discipline. In moments when quitting would have been easier. You don't get whatever you want by demanding it from life. You get it by earning it through who you become. And the moment you decide to grow, life has no choice but to respond.